Hello everybody, welcome back to Eternal, and today I'm going to do another deck tech of the updates to my Combrei midrange list. I'm still going a little, I'm not quite at the big Combrei yet, but I'm definitely getting there. I'm still trying to keep it in what I would consider to be a mid-range deck, but I mean, there's never been a fast and hard rule for what exactly makes a deck a mid-range deck, what makes a deck a control deck, and what makes it aggro. There's varying shades of it. Um, Really, I think what's going to keep me in the mid-range is still playing these stand-togethers for my creatures that I'll be playing, since I'll be playing way more. Um, I still want to be protecting my threats, and that's really what I've been finding to be one of the biggest advantages that I spoke of earlier when I first made this deck, which is just playing better threats. But when you're playing better threats, they're worth it to protect them. Like if each one of my cards wins the game on their own, it's very much worth it to have defensive spells in your deck, like Stand Together or even one Protect. Protect is also a concession against the Stone Scar decks, the burn decks. I've won very many a game of just putting this at my face while there's a lethal burn spell pointed at my face to just win the game that way. This is going to be the weirdest deck. I expect there to be a lot of contention over this card. I'm still testing it out. I can't tell if I like it or hate it so far. But it gains you life and puts a card on top of your library at instant speed. It's not the strongest effect, but like I said before, when each one of my threats is going to end the game by itself, in theory, between the Seraph, the Sandstorm Titan, um, Mystic Ascendant, or even the Great Parliament. But rebuying Great Parliaments is great with that card. So that's really what you want to be doing with it. Patrick Chapin actually turned me onto this card. I played him in Imagine. He was playing a handful of these, and it did a lot of good work for him. So I've tried it out, and I've been a fan of it so far, I have to admit. Still to find the ways to hit my land drops, making sure that's important. I'm up to 3 Great Parliaments and 4 Mystic Ascendants in this list because the card is just bananas. It just gives you your late game inevitability. And then 2 Harsh Rules because the deck is a little light on removal. And it still can struggle with like the go wide strategy sometimes. So Copperall Bailiff helps with that a little bit by giving all my enemy units -1 attack, but it's still not phenomenal in all the best situations, and definitely has its limitations for what it can stop as far as go wide strategy. So that's why Harsh Rules are still on the list. But yeah, that's the updates to this list. I'm also back up to 1 Lumen Defender, also as a concession to aggro decks, being 1/5 deadly and gaining you 5 life or whatever. You lose in the beating game is it's very very important to the deck, and I think that's why actually the card I'm always most happy to see in my opening hand is Combrei Healer. It just buys you so much time against the aggro decks by giving you +3 life, and it's not the most insignificant threat in the world against even like armory decks, because it's still going to trade with their 3-mana weapon, and it blocks an Auric Runehammer and survives, which is huge in my opinion. So it just does a lot of good work in a lot of different matchups, and if I could run like 8 of this card, I probably would. And that's the only card in the deck I can really say about that. Maybe aside some Seraph, but Seraph is also, it has its drawbacks definitely in the late game, because paying 8, while, if you repeat this effect, it's definitely going to win you the game in dramatic fashion, but it does also require, obviously, a lot of resources to pull that off. So yeah, that's basically the list at the moment. I guess the changes back up to 4 Desert Marshals, along with 4 Valkyrie Enforcers. Just having all the silence effects is huge. Once again, because if you're light on removal, so if your opponent plays something like a Statutory Mason or I can't see it, but or something like any of the champions, like silencing a champion, whether it be of glory or of chaos or whatever, removing those buffs it gets from your opponent's sigil base. It basically neuters any of those cards, especially Champion of Glory. It turns it into a 2-mana 1/1, which instead of a 2-mana 3/3 first strike vigilance. I mean, that's a pretty dramatic turnaround. So yeah, that's the list at the moment. I'm still open to suggestions. You feel free to call me an idiot and just say play the big Combrei list, or say boo, I like the Xenon obelisks, and I'll definitely take into your input accordingly. And that's going to do it for this deck tech, and let's play some games with this bad boy.